What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. I have to talk about jabs. Now, before we get all up in a bunch, there's going to be a lot of censorship up on this video in terms of what's being said. Now, something has been sent to me by one of our viewers, something that brought concern, and I guess this video is more to ask the viewer's opinion, because while I'm looking at the documents, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, that I think this is just information being sent out. However, if you go back to the pandemic, if you go back to the way the government behaved during the pandemic, it certainly wouldn't surprise me. In fact, this isn't particularly raising to information that's being sent out by Canada Revenue Agency in regards to the Canada Child Benefit. Now, the person in this tweet that was forwarded my way with quite a cause for concern basically states that they feel that they're going to be told that by slipping this information into their envelope alongside other information, that it may insinuate that the government would require parents to have their kids jabbed with certain procedures preventing certain illnesses, we'll say, in order to receive benefits in the future. Now, if you asked me about this a couple of years ago during the pandemic, I would have said absolutely. But one of the questions that I have during this is, why is the Canada Revenue Agency sending medical information to parents? Why are they promoting certain procedures? Canada Revenue Agency is essentially supposed to handle your tax. It's not supposed to talk about policy. So I want to ask what you guys think, because while I can't draw any definitive lines to what's being said here, I definitely wouldn't put it without a doubt that the government could potentially do this down the line. As a parent of 3, I will tell you right now that I decide what's best for my children, recommended by a professional doctor, and the government can't really tell me what to do with my kids. They shouldn't ever tell you what to do with your own body, your own kids. Talk to a health professional that you trust, if you trust any, and get your advice that way. I am certainly not telling anybody in this video, YouTube, what to do with their children, merely asking an opinion. So here is the tweet that was sent my way. Again, quite concerned from the individual who sent it. So now CRA is normalizing linking jabbing your kids to receiving benefits. It's not mandated yet, but CRA is now getting involved. We wondered one day they would try to cut taxpayers off of benefits if they didn't submit to said programs. Is this the first step? So again, as you can see in this pamphlet, you can see Canada Revenue Agency's envelope up there. You can see the pamphlets that are inside of that, I'm assuming, as well as a letter with the addressee inside. I want to take a bigger look at that letter. But again, my question, while there's nothing definitive in here saying you will not get benefits if you don't follow these recommendations, if you don't, there right now in Alberta is an outbreak that they claim of measles, different things. So naturally, I guess they're trying to keep people informed. I don't know. My ultimate question is why is Canada Revenue Agency sending out medical information? I want to take a look here at the photo in more detail. Because these are the pamphlets that are being brought in. It says, secure your child's future, money for education. Of course, it talks about the Canada Learning Bond, which is up to $2,000 total per eligible child, $500 in a registered education savings program for the first year, $100 per year of eligibility until the age of 15, no contributions needed. Now, I can tell you as a parent, again, my wife and I signed up for this for our children. It's beneficial. It also gives more ways to get the bond. Retroactive benefits, young adults born in 2004 or later can apply until they turn 21. Starting in 2028, qualifying children born in or after 2024 will be automatically enrolled at the age of 4. Now it says down here, boost your savings up to $7,200 more with the Canada Education Savings Grant. Why am I talking about all this? Well, because again, this is information for parents. This is, if you have children, if you're receiving the Canada Child Benefit, and again, this envelope makes sense, as July 1st of every year is when the rollover happens for anybody receiving Canada Child Benefit, and they decide what your new amount is based on your tax submissions for the year. Of course, this person was obviously in British Columbia because it says the BC Healthy Kids Program. So now it says the BC Healthy Kids Program helps low-income families with the costs of hearing, dental, and optical care for their children. You can use the program if your family is on medical services plan, supplementary benefits. So it's just letting you know that, again, if you're receiving the Canada Child Benefit and you're a low-income household, your kids can get basic dental service coverage of up to $2,000. Your children are eligible as long as your family receives medical services plan in British Columbia, supplementary benefits, and that they're under the age of 19. Gives you information on how to apply and to use the program, yada, yada, yada. So it goes from a bond, a savings bond for their education, to the Healthy Kids program, and then over here, routine jabs. How it works. Childhood jabs can help protect your child. They also help the body develop blah, blah, blah. Again, certain things I can and can't say on YouTube. I certainly don't want to get this video flagged. It goes on to talk about the safety of it, importance of staying up to date, and for more information. Now, again, there's nothing in here that states you're not going to get your benefits if you don't stay up to date. If we look down in the comments, just an FYI, all parents receive this no matter what you make per year. Also, in that CRA envelope, those were the only 3 items in there. Tax benefits certain parents can get, and a reminder to jab because the government says so. Again, circling Government of Canada on it. Again, I've always questioned, why does the government feel they have the right to tell you what to do with your own choices when it comes to your kids or yourself? The government's job is to pass policy. It's not to tell you what to do, where to go, who to be around, where you can travel, where you can't. This person goes on to say it's the Canada Child Benefit that every Canada gets no matter what. The amount you get is dependent on your annual income you paid tax on. If you made a semi-decent living, the payments are a bit of a joke considering how much you pay. We already know all this. It goes back on that a clown on Twitter accused me of making it up because they said the flyers could not come in the CRA envelope. I showed this because they would not fit. According to them, I guess showing the envelope was not enough. Again, it's just a lot of back and forth. The Twitter, X, however you call it these days, it's a very toxic platform. I rarely post on there. I try to post either forwarding videos, memes, I'll forward something that I feel is important, but I'm not on there. I don't live on there like some people do because it's such a toxic platform. This person goes on to say they're sending tax benefit info and reminders to do the deed with your kids. Somebody says, I just got this in the mail, the language alone. Somebody says this is unrelated information flyers, or 3 unrelated information flyers. The only linking happening here is your own imagination. So again, I did see the concern from the individual who sent it my way, but again, I wanted to bring it up to the viewer. And I know I can already see it in the comments. This is a nothing burger. I'm asking you guys, the audience, after the pandemic, after everything that happened in this country, when we saw how crazy things got over those few years, while all of our rights were taken away, while we were told you couldn't go to certain stores, you couldn't go to restaurants, you couldn't go to movie theaters. Do you believe at some point in time, the government will feel they have the right to overreach again? Do you think that the government does have the possibility to deny benefits to the child benefit plan, which a lot of families, I'll be honest, depend on? I can tell you as a father of 3, things get expensive. We very much use and depend on the Canada Child Benefit as much as possible. In fact, the amounts fluctuate so much that it's hard to really bank on it, but every little penny helps. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think it's possible? If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure you like, comment, share this video out. Give it a thumbs up. I already said like. It's important because YouTube does not want this video out. They will not want this video out because of what it discusses. It'll get hammered. So any help you guys can give if you enjoyed the content, very beneficial. And I thank you for doing that. While you're hitting subscribe, turn on your bell for notifications. Join me live here on the channel each and every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe, our weekly live streaming show, as well as our new Wednesday night live streaming show coming up this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, as well as the same time on Fridays. Our new Wednesday show is bringing back the Celtic Canuck as a co-host, a permanent co-host. Celtic Canuck, of course, being removed from YouTube, has found a new home on Unacceptable Fringe as a co-host of a show. Thank goodness YouTube allows that. We're very happy to have her join Unacceptable Fringe, and I look forward to having her on this Wednesday to chat with you guys about stories like this, things that don't necessarily make the cutting room floor. Friday nights, we talk about everything that happened in politics, joined by the beautiful Mrs. Fringe, and both streams hearing what you guys have to say outside of making these videos. Boy, I got to work on that pitch. Join me again Wednesdays, Fridays, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central for live streams here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to seeing you there. I hope you have a great rest of your day and enjoyed the video. I'll catch you on the next one.